What's up, guys? It is Jonathan with One Big Impact. It's really hot. Holy crap. It's funny how fast the summer creeps up on us. Smacks us in the face over here in Arizona. Been wanting to talk about a little something, so every once in a while I give you guys an idea about kind of how my journey's been and where I've come and where I started and stuff. Ow, something's biting me. Shit. So, let's start by saying I never, ever thought, even remotely thought that health or fitness or any of those type of things would be a key factor in my life. Now, not necessarily because, like, in my early 20s, I used to go to the gym. I was a very active kid. I mean, back then, all kids were very active compared to maybe now. And that doesn't go for all, but you know what I mean. Overall. I never really thought that... Obviously, I never thought I would be a personal trainer. In my 20s, I used to go to the gym, and I ended up in pretty decent shape towards... I don't know, mid to late 20s, maybe mid 20s, early to mid 20s. I ended up in okay shape. Not necessarily any regimens or anything, but I was young. I was staying active, going to Gold's Gym and stuff like that. Now, fast forward a little while, and I got not really heavily into drugs, but never really cared, I guess, too much about my safety, my mind, my mental well-being as far as things were concerned. I think a lot about a couple certain situations. There was one situation in which I was... One time I was hanging out with a friend. Actually, it wasn't a friend, it was a coworker. And he had mentioned, and I grew up as a huffer. If you don't know what a huffer is, it's somebody that inhales inhalants to get high. And that was a pretty big thing when I was growing up for me. I would do probably 24 cans a day, maybe on average, of Glade air freshener. So basically, you don't sniff it in your nose, by the way. Everybody thinks that. What I would do is... you get the can of Glade air freshener and you put a towel over the top and you put it up against your mouth and you just breathe in. Well, it gives you something called the want-wants. Your brain is put you into a state of like hallucination for just a short period of time. Between that and the whippets, and if you don't know what whippets are, they're the little things inside the whipped cream cartridges, but you could actually buy them at the smoke shops. I don't know if you still can, but virtually the same thing. Killed brain cells, blah blah blah. So inhalants was my thing. I got away from them, but then for some reason, as I got a little bit older, I think I started doing it again, and it got a little bit different, a little bit more extreme this time. I did like propane from barbecue grills, and a lot. Sometimes I would go through an entire tank, big tank, in a week. And it wasn't necessarily like something I went out and bought, but if they were around, I would huff it. And you put a little steak knife inside there, and you breathe it in right off of the nozzle. It gets you unbelievably high. Then I stopped that for a little while, and I tried Freon, air conditioning Freon. And most notably, the one time I remember getting high one time, I was on my friend's dad's bar on top of the roof with another person whom I no longer talk to. And I had found it, funny enough, an AC truck just went by with those cans, the little green cans. I mean, they're not little, they're about half the size of a propane tank. But they were scattered all over the roof, and I would assume it was from filling up the propane, or for filling up the Freon for the AC unit. So we did the same thing, but they didn't need a steak knife. You just undid the nozzle, got high. Well, I woke up later on that night, not on the roof anymore, and my leg was pretty bad hurting. Apparently I had walked off the roof high and fell, 20, 30 feet to the ground, and just got really, really lucky. I had vomit all over me when I woke up. And even then, I never really thought, hey, I'm really lucky. There was times I took so much acid, I thought my heart was going to explode. I never really thought that this was going to be a life in which I would worry about my body. So, basically what I'm saying is, try not to take your life for granted, because there are things that I enjoyed back then. The people I was around, the friends I had. But I am one lucky son of a bitch to not be dead. The things that I did were just... And a lot of you may not understand. Sometimes you're like, Jonathan's crazy, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if it's affected me. I don't know. I have no clue. A lot of people remember things when they were a kid. I don't remember things when I was a kid. I don't know if that's from drug use or inhalants or what it is. But there are pieces sometimes that don't go together. I don't really know my purpose in this life. I don't think anybody really does. But I know that I'm thankful for another opportunity to give it a damn good effort at trying to appreciate the life that I am given. I really want to expect the same out of you. If you're sitting there and you're not really taking your food choices seriously, or you're not really taking losing weight seriously, or getting healthy seriously, or just looking in the mirror and saying, you know what, I fucking love you, man. I love you. I'm lucky. Because we really don't know how lucky we are. We just don't. We have no idea. I'm driving down the road in a piece of shit car.